Who is the German miracle healer of the 50s? Who is the humble man working in God's name, stating so boldly that there is no incurable disease? Who is Bruno Gröning, whose worldwide followers form a so-called circle of friends, still witnessing what cannot be medically explained? Before I give you some insight, and we'll do a healing session together, let me quickly introduce myself.
Hi, it's Monika, your intuitive trauma transformation coach, who helps you face and successfully navigate through the storms of life, guiding you through a most powerful self-healing process and teaching you all the mindfulness tools you need to embark on your journey to your core self and create the life you've always envisioned.
Bruno Gröning was born as the fourth of 7 children on May 30th, 1906 in Gdansk, Oliva. When I read his biography, I feel very close to him, as we both were seen as different and as not fitting in. We both had a rough childhood, beaten, ridiculed, and misunderstood. We both used to escape into nature, where we felt closer to the divine or creator than in any church, and more drawn to animals, trees, and bushes than to most of the people. And I can so much relate when he says, in nature, it seemed to me as if my inner being expanded into infinity. With time, he discovered that in his presence, people and animals would become well. During the First World War, he started to visit the military hospitals, where people were happy to see him. The wounded felt good in his presence, and many became healthy again. Bruno Gröning wrote in his biography, "Even as a small child, sick people were freed from their symptoms in my presence. And then they were worked up or quarreling. Children and grown-ups alike would become calm and peaceful as a result of a few words from me. Also, as a child, I noticed that animals, which normally are considered shy or even dangerous, were good-willed and tame around me. My relationship to my family home, in contrast, was strange and tense. I strove very early for complete independence in order to free myself from this environment of misunderstanding within my family. In 1949, the name Bruno Gröning became a household word in Germany overnight. Reports about him appeared in the press, in newsreels, and on the radio. Events surrounding the miracle doctor, as he soon came to be called, kept the whole country in suspense. A film was made about him. Scientific investigation committees were set up, and government authorities at the highest level gave the Bruno Gröning matter their attention. The Minister for Social Affairs in North Rhine-Westphalia had him prosecuted for violating the Non-Medical Practitioners Act, while the Minister and President of Bavaria declared that one could not let such an exceptional occurrence as Gröning be squandered because of a few legalities on paper. The Bavarian Interior Ministry described his work as a labor of love, free of charge. So he was able to welcome and help those who were suffering and the sick heal at the Traberhof, situated in the little city of Rosenheim, where I was born. Like Dr. Mikao Usui, the founder of Reiki, Bruno Gröning teaches that there is a higher power, which is the basis of all living things, and it can heal. And just as we know from traditional Chinese medicine, it is called life force, Qi or Qi, healing power, or according to Bruno Gröning, Heilstrom. This divine healing source is of course available for everyone. And while Reiki practitioners channel it through them into the client, Bruno Gröning's work doesn't need a practitioner to work with. Everyone can do it by themselves. Similar to self-Reiki, but we don't need several hand positions. We just need to tune in, which is called einstellen in German, and give all our problems or issues to Bruno Gröning, who is the switchboard between man and creator, similar to a shaman who enters an altered state of consciousness. And if you hear the word Regelungen, it just means the same as healing crisis. A first worsening before it really gets better. The aim of Bruno Gröning's teachings is to transform everyone into someone who is filled with the joy of living and free from physical and emotional problems. Before we do einstellen or tuning in together, please quickly hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell as well. In order to absorb the Heilstrom, life force energy, we are sitting with hands open and palms facing up. Our arms and legs are not supposed to be crossed, as crossing them blocks the free flow of the healing stream, just as taught in Reiki. Negative thoughts about illness and personal problems have an inhibiting effect, while thoughts about something pleasant are beneficial, as the energy healers among us all know too well. We can, of course, warm up our hands and hand chakras as we do in other modalities. Let's focus on the sensations in our hands and imagine a stream of light coming down from above and into our hands. As the Heilstrom flows through the body, we can imagine how it makes contact with our organs that have been burdened by illness, and how it begins its cleansing and detoxification and purification effect. As I mentioned before, this may lead to Regelungen in form of pain, which is an indication that the body is being cleansed. Within this process, it's of utmost importance to believe that any illness as such is not the will of God and can gradually be removed. In some cases, this even can be spontaneous. This is why it is essential for us not to dwell on the illness, but rather believe that for the divine God or Creator, no illness is incurable. As it's scientifically proven that nature helps us heal as well, I will show you a slideshow with nature photos. Please feel free to pause the video and put your favorite relaxing music on. We'll do this for just 5 minutes to start the process. Please let me know what you felt in the comments section below. Peace begins with me. Namaste, namaste. And remember, you deserve to break free and live your magic.